What's going on, people? Phonicz. Right to truth.
Yeah. Cool-headed, but I'm too deadly. All the way up to the top where I'm going, nigga, where you headed? King shit, overrule peasants. Don't lose your bitch for 2 seconds. All I gotta do is talk to her for a few seconds, and she'll be trying to get me smooth back it. Gooseneck, man, marijuana, get the move ready. Crew reppin' since 9th grade, high school freshman. Young nigga, I was too restless. You guessed it, no cap, it's a new era. Midnight with my last bitch and my last bitch. That's 2 X's, Dos Equis, 2 N's. I was gone for a few seconds, then came home.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to Right to Truth, yo. Welcome to Right to Truth. Sorry, I was supposed to come on yesterday, but I had some schoolwork to finish, so that's more important, and that comes first for right now. Yo, I hope everybody is doing well out there. Winter is almost upon us, and we are feeling it. You know what I'm saying? We definitely feeling it. I'd like to thank everybody who tuned in last time. The numbers are starting to go up again. I'm starting to get my steam and my momentum back, which is always a plus. Yo, we're going to have these real good, hot, controversial topics that we need to talk about, like that other channels aren't talking about because they don't know how to explain it as eloquently as I can. So that's why I am that dude. And again, welcome you to Right to Truth, man. It's always good to be here. It's always good to talk to y'all. As usual, man, we get right into it here. But hey, does anybody care about the runoff election that's going on in Georgia? Yeah, I don't care either. You know, on CNN they're trying to make it again like, yo, this is just life and death between Herschel Walker and Raphael Warnock. I don't approve of either one. One is a coon, the other one is supposed to be a man of God. And I thought there was a separation in this country of church and state. I'll digress though. So yo, question: what is a snitch? The dishonor amongst thieves. And, isn't that a good question? Because look, man, I like to listen to my share of, BS that be on these different podcasts and all these so-called street dudes and these so-called men of honor, which they're men of dishonor. They're not any men of honor. They're very quick to, call somebody else a snitch and somebody told on them and they didn't tell and they went to jail and they did their time and, you know what I'm saying? That's why they can hold their head high and, that might be everybody else's opinion, but that's not my opinion at all. I think, number one, if you're in anything like, they like to call it the game, the drug game, this game, if you get caught, then you were the dumbass. You lost the game. You're not supposed to lose the game. Isn't the objective to win? So when law enforcement catches you and puts you in a cage for 20 years, you're a loser. That's nothing to be proud about at all. And, I was listening to this dude on Vlad, Unique Mecca Audio, stupid name. And he just keeps saying, he's telling these stories, but then he keeps referencing, oh, but the kids, you don't do what I did. But you're trying to get paid off for telling your story of the things that you did. Why should you be compensated for that when the kids are going to listen to that and that's going to inspire them to head in that route if they're weak-minded like you were? I mean, these are 50, 60-year-old men. You can't go somewhere and sit there. You can't find another way to make a living. You're trying to glorify the same life that threw you in a cage for almost 30 years. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I'm sick of these so-called men because they're not men. If you leave your family by choice and don't take care of them for the better part of their life, you're not a man. I don't care. You can tell you you're not a man. Because you weren't there when they needed you. When did all that matter? When you was out there in the streets making that money, selling them drugs, whatever, you weren't thinking about them then anyway. You were just putting babies in chicks. You wasn't thinking about them. And let me tell you something, y'all. If y'all ain't never ever dealt with people that been in prison or talking about them, mugs be real sentimental then. Oh, they the best friend, husband, wife, whatever. They want to call and talk all day, and they be philosophers, you know what I'm saying? Like they philosophers now, and they dropping knowledge. Oh, because they had time to think. Well, what do you think the rest of us do in the free world, stupid? We don't need to be thrown in a cage to know how to think and to strategize and to live a decent life. So yeah, these so-called men, these so-called street dudes that nobody in a decent part of our society even acknowledges or knows these people exist, unless they're trying to make some type of money off them some kind of way by pimping them. They're nobodies. So here we have, on the left, we have Brian Baby Williams, owner, co-founder of Cash Money Records, and his brother, Terrence Gangster Williams. That's what he calls himself. Terrence Gangster Williams. Those are some funny looking dudes, ain't they? Jesus Christ. Terrence Gangster Williams. Now, now Terrence, on the one on the right, he was in prison for 20-something years, and he's home. And he professes to be this devout Muslim, and he's this man of God, but he still keeps gangster in his name. And now he's jumped on the bandwagon because his brother, multimillionaire Brian Baby Williams, cut him off because he felt like he broke the street code. Well, Terrence said in a Vlad interview, big shout out to Vlad too, man. Terrence said in a Vlad interview that, and I'm paraphrasing, but he basically told the authorities old cold cases that his homies who were already deceased had done so he can gain favor and get out of prison. He said, and I'm paraphrasing again, that his brother, Brian Baby Williams, basically was like, I can't deal with you no more. We took a code and you broke that code. Now this brother been going for all them years. And he's talking about a code. This is how sick these people are. Like, yo, your brother was gone for decades, man. And he gave the police, you know what I'm saying, information about people that's already gone, and you're talking about a code? How is that a snitch? But the thing is, what does it matter? There's no honor among you thieves anyway. That's why the title is, what is a snitch? The dishonor amongst thieves. Because when you're in the streets, and I was never a street dude, but I was in the street dude, there's a difference. I observed all these things. I observed there was no loyalty with the so-called homies. I observed what happened when dudes went and got locked up and the next dude is hitting their girl. I observed dudes selling for these so-called big-time drug dealers, but if they get locked up with their whole pack of drugs, that drug dealer, number one, they ain't gonna bail them out. And then when they come home, they expect them to work that money off that got took by the police. But there's so much honor amongst these, and they so don't tell. They all tell. Most of them do. And I'm not mad at them. So why should you be mad at them? Like, what is there to honestly be mad about? You want to get out of a situation. I totally understand. Do whatever you have to do, because at the end of the day, you have to live your life. See, I was always taught, don't worry about other people. You worry about going back to a neighborhood where everybody's gone, nobody knows you anyway. What do you care? What do you care? You worry about a bunch of homies and you ain't even got no homies left. Maybe a 2 or 3. And these dudes is half brothers. I know in the black community we don't say that, but yes, they have the same father and a different mother. They're half brothers. You can see one is extremely uglier than the other one. They're both ugly in their own right, but one is extremely uglier than the other. So anyway, so you just gonna disavow your brother like that because you worried about what people gonna say? This dude, Baby, who's a millionaire, who shouldn't even be rolling or moving around with those kind of people anymore. He's touched a certain kind of money where he should be at a certain echelon where he doesn't even associate with that. But no, we got to keep it real. You're keeping it real to people that don't care anything about you. And your brother coming home and you can't even show him no love and make sure he's all right because you saying y'all took an oath. Like y'all just some hardened street criminals. I've seen a little documentary on your life, baby. You did a little something. You wasn't out there like that. Your little brother seemed like he was more the real deal than you. So stop it. Oath. Like you some godfather of a continuing criminal enterprise. Get out of here. You lived a great life for many years. You walked around with Lil Wayne grinning looking ass, kissing him all in the mouth. We all know Clifford, Tip Harris, better known as T.I. T.I. was just explaining a situation where he allegedly snitched because he gave the police a case that his cousin, who was then deceased, had committed. People are labeling him as a snitch. How do you figure he's a snitch? You're not supposed to cooperate with the police. I can do whatever I want to do to get myself out of a situation. I can do whatever I want to do to keep my freedom. I'm not going to let you people who are not in that situation determine that. When you're living your best life, like, it's not going to happen. And the people that's using these words, I promise, the people that like to accuse other people of being snitches, I promise you, those are the ones. And it don't have to be just giving the police information. It could be sleeping with your boy's girl. It could be stealing from your boy. It could be lying to your boy. There is no honor in the streets, and that needs to be addressed, and it needs to stop being looked over. And you have all these so-called OGs to say, oh, well, in my day, we did it like this, and we didn't do this. You're a liar. Because that's where it started. People have been telling to get themselves out of situations since the beginning of time. It's not going to stop, and it shouldn't stop. If you have valuable information and it can save you from potentially getting incarcerated, give that information to the authorities. You feel me? Get that information to the authorities. But we need to stop with this terminology when we're throwing this blanket and say, "Oh, use a snitch," this and that. And yo, the people that are getting labeled snitch, why are you worried about it? Who is these people that you think are reputable? Who is coming from? These so-called street, again, they're in an underclass all by themselves. Nobody cares about them unless they're exploiting them. For the most part, these people who can't even vote, they really don't even exist as citizens. I mean, unless they're paying taxes, they can still walk in these little poor communities, and a crackhead or two might remember them. But who else remembers them? The young generations don't remember them, nor do they care. That kills me too. When these older dudes keep saying, yo, you know, we're going to speak to the youth. The youth don't want to hear what you got to say. You idiot. You were playing a game and you lost. How can I hear what you have to say? You were in the drug game. You labeled it a game. You play a game to win, but you kept losing. You went to prison for years. I can't respect you. I don't want to hear anything you have to say. Nothing. Because if I'm playing any game, I'm playing to win. I'm competitive like that. And you just sat down in a cage like a coward for 20-some years. Yeah, I mean, you was tough on the streets. You could kill people on the streets. You was ordering murders, but you voluntarily going in and sit your ass down, huh? But you're an honorable man. You're somebody to respect. We need to stop this, people. I have a couple of people up here I'd like to introduce you to if you don't know them. On the far left, we have one, Leroy Nicky Barnes, leader of the council back in the 70s, labeled a snitch because he put a lot of his boys in prison. And he was subsequently let out after doing about 20 odd years. And he lived peacefully in the witness protection program until we learned that he died in, I believe, 2012. Bottom right, you have Sammy, the Bull Gravano, underboss in the Gambino crime family, second in command next to John Gotti. And, you know, he's maybe one of the most famous mob snitches of his era, if that's what you want to call him. You know, again, he did what he had to do to get himself out of a situation. I'm not mad at that. And I'm going to read you a little bit about Sammy and Mr. Barnes. Top right-hand corner, that man's name is Henry Hill. Henry Hill was famously played by the late Ray Liotta in the movie Goodfellas. He was an associate, I want to say, of the Lucchese crime family. I could be wrong about that. He was just an associate. He wasn't a member of the mob, but he was an associate. He was an earner, and he eventually, you know, he told he did what he had to do, and he went to witness protection program, was kicked out. He lived a full life. He died a few years ago, but he was an old man, so they never got him. Again, this is a game, and he won. Mr. Hill won. And in the middle we have famous young man Tekashi 6ix9ine, who a lot of people in the so-called hip hop. It's not hip hop. Let's call it drill community because it's not hip hop. Hip hop is dead. Nas said that years ago. That was a very broad prediction, but it was accurate. Hip hop is dead. This is the drill community. This is not hip hop. It's not what I grew up on, and it'd be disrespectful for us to call it that. And it's not the culture. So for all you dummies out there, the academics of the world, the Charlemagnes and whoever else, that's not a part of my culture. Not a bunch of weirdos talking about popping pills and shooting each other. That's not a part of my culture. Sorry. Young Tekashi 6ix9ine. Forgot his real name. Let's see what his real name is. I forgot it. He's an Hispanic. He's a young Mexican guy. Forgot his name. Let's see. I mean, not that it really matters. Nobody knows him by their name, nor do they care. But just for public information, public consumption, we'll go ahead and get it right. Daniel Hernandez, that's his name. Daniel Hernandez. Yeah, so I'm gonna start with him. So Tekashi 6ix9ine, with his cohorts, they end up getting picked up by the police, charged with a slew of crimes. Tekashi flips. Many of those involved in the case get up to 20 years in prison. I think he gets 2 years, time served, a little house arrest, and he's free to live the rest of his life. He's a millionaire, and he's chilling as far as I know. So anyway, street people and non-street people alike wanted to put this, this jacket on him as being a snitch. And look, I beg to differ. Those dudes was disloyal to him from the beginning. And the sad part about he was too young and naive to know that. He didn't know that they were real predators. They were never going to put him down. He would never be a part of them because he didn't come from where they came from. And see, if you was really in the streets, you understand that. Because I had to understand that. Coming to a neighborhood at a certain age, but those other people who basically were born in that neighborhood and they grew up in that neighborhood. So for their first 11, 12 years or whatever, they knew each other. You know what I mean? I'm coming there as a transplant. I can get down with them, but I can never be one of them. It's like with the Italian mafia. If both your parents cannot be traced back to the mother country in Italy, then you cannot be a made member. That's just how it goes. So Tekashi gets with these clowns, so-called Bloods or whatever, and they engage in criminal activity. Vlad likes to jump on Tekashi because he said, well, Tekashi ordered this. Well, I'm the boss, right? So you got me feeling like I'm a gangster, I'm a G. This is how you got me feeling. I'm a young, naive kid. You got me feeling like I'm a gangster, I'm a G now. I'm rolling with you gangsters. You guys are street dudes. And you work for me. So if I need something done, you're going to do it. I'm the one taking you out of town. I'm the one buying you new clothes. I'm the one got you eating good, got you living good. So if I need you to handle some business, being that you claim that you are the gangster, then you need to go do gangster shit. It's that simple. See, we like to look down at Tekashi for that situation, but Shotty and all them other clown dudes, they were flunkies. They were male flunkies. They were following that dude because he had fame and money. They were flunkies. It's that simple. And it's another word I could use. I'm trying to leave the cursing alone. But they were flunkies. And see, all these so-called gangsters and stuff out here that got these podcasts, you know what they forget to tell children? And you can make it real simple. Stop telling somebody, don't do what I did. That's not enough. Make it plainer. Stop being followers, kids. Be your own man or woman. Don't follow the crowd. Don't try to be what's popular and what everybody else is doing. Because guess what? Followers go to prison or they get killed. I've seen that quite a few times. Where people who wasn't even built in that life end up doing 10, 15 years in prison. Truth be told, the title song, the rapper that you hear on my title song for this show, he went to prison at a young age. He wasn't about that life. He wasn't no street dude. He made a mistake. And it cost him like 11 years of his life. Back to Tekashi. So, I'm rolling with you dudes. Y'all dudes are doing gangster stuff. I'm ordering you to do gangster stuff, but then damn, I find out, damn, my main man, you sleeping with my old lady. Whether we on the outs or not, that's the G code. That's the G code. You don't get down with your man's old lady, whether they're going through it or not, whether they're together or not. So that's one sign that you've seen where Shotty and the rest of them have little to no respect for him. After all he's done for them, not what they did for him, what he did for them. Because he brought their raggedy behinds out the hood. Then you try to kidnap this guy. You try to kidnap him. So we all get arrested. We all get brought in. Our back is up against the wall. I'm doing what Tekashi did. I don't care what you call me. I was never down with you to begin with. You never accepted me. If you did, you wouldn't have did those kind of things to me when I was a come up for you. I was a brother to you. Again, the dishonor amongst thieves. There's no loyalty in the streets. Let's stop that myth. It doesn't exist. Because if it did, do you think there's all these super cops running around? Hell no. It be these people's main dudes and dudettes that be giving the police the information. They ain't no super cops. Hell, if you watch the first 48, you see that all day long. So what is you people talking about? Let's go into Leroy Nicky Barnes a little bit, y'all. And this comes from Atlanta Journal-Constitution back in 2019. The name was once as notorious as any in New York City and beyond. He had headed a lucrative and lethal drug dealing enterprise that seemed impregnable, thanks to lost evidence, lapsed memories, and missing witnesses. His record of avoiding conviction inflated his ego, to the point where in 1977, this dashing dope peddler flaunted his supposed invulnerability by posing recklessly, as it turned out, in a blue denim suit and a red, white, and blue tie for the cover of the New York Times magazine. And y'all should go on Google that picture of Nicky Barnes. The title says Mr. Untouchable. This is Nicky Barnes. Police say he may be Harlem's biggest drug dealer, but can they prove it? From June 5th, 1977. The cover so affronted President Jimmy Carter that the White House ordered Barnes, who had been indicted again only weeks before, to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The Justice Department did just that, and later in 1977, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Betrayal, revenge. While Barnes languished behind bars, though, his former cronies, his wife, and his girlfriends began squandering the criminal enterprise that had made them millionaires. He felt betrayed, but he extracted his revenge. He testified against them in federal trials, and scores of his wayward former associates were convicted. One was his ex-wife, Thelma Grant, who pled guilty to federal drug charges and served 10 years in prison. In return for his cooperation, the government released Barnes from prison in 1998. But concluding that he would henceforth be a marked man, the authorities offered him something more, a new life through a hidden one in the Witness Protection Program. And with that, Barnes achieved a goal that his former self would have loathed, even feared, to be forgotten, or mostly. I'm going to skip over and end this. Still, to many of his former colleagues who spent years in prison or who remained incarcerated, he was a snitch, even if he had turned witness for the prosecution as payback for their disloyalty. He wept on the witness stand as he identified former associates as members of a council of narcotics traffickers who had vowed to treat my brother as myself. The associates' lawyers scoffed at his testimony. Barnes, they said, was testifying only to win parole or a pardon. Was there anything he was asked in 2007 worse than being an informer? Quote, being in prison for the rest of your life, Barnes replied. I'd rather be out as a witness than being there and what they characterize as a stand-up guy. I'm out, he said, therein. That's real talk. That's real talk right there. I respect it. You know, and let me just reread something that I said to y'all. Still, to many of his former colleagues who spent years in prison or remain incarcerated, he was a snitch, even if he had turned witness for the prosecution as payback for their disloyalty. Oh, so you supposed to burn me because you know I'm in a can and I can't physically reach out and touch you, and you think that's cool? Nah, I got to get you. I love that vindictiveness. Salute, Nicky Barnes. I love that kind of vindictiveness. Yeah, I'm going to get you. And it goes deeper than this article. I've actually seen a documentary. There's a documentary about Nicky Barnes, and it has some of his cronies in there. Yo, they were sleeping with his. He said he told them, yo, only thing that's off limits is my wife, and I think his wife and his women and all of that. Yo, he finding out dudes are sleeping with his wife, driving his cars. Nah, he wasn't having it. We supposed to be brothers, right? But you doing that. So I'm just supposed to sit down and take it? Oh, that's a part of the game. Nah, now you can come where I'm at, and you can stay here for the rest of your life, and I'm going to go home. How about that? Yeah, you got caught slipping, dummies. Stupids. Same thing in Tekashi. Stupid, you idiots. You're going to trust the outsider. You're going to do all this criminal activity and stuff around an outsider who's a rapper, who you tried to turn into a gangster, and when things hit the fan, you think he going to stand tall? That's just stupidity. And it makes me question you guys' street knowledge and all of that. Because the streets is cold. They heartless. That's what Nicky Barnes was. What did he say? The question was to him, was there anything worse than being an informer? Nicky Barnes said, being in prison for the rest of your life. I'd rather be out as a witness than being there what they characterize as a stand-up guy. I'm out, he said, therein. So these clowns is locked up in prison for the rest of their life, but he's free. Nicky Barnes is the epitome of what the streets is all about. Tekashi Street 6ix9ine, Henry Hill, Sammy the Bull. There's no loyalty in these streets. Yeah, it's your boy when y'all getting money together. Yeah, it's your boy when y'all partying or when y'all hooking up with females and when you smoking weed together. It ain't when it comes down to this. And we've seen this one too many times. And yo, don't look at the dummies who take the time and say they ain't gonna tell. Nah, man. You forgot self-preservation 101. And then the thing is, you're only thinking about yourself. What about your family? No, stop telling me, oh, well, if my kids, you know what I'm saying? If my dad did 20-something years in prison and my mom's out here struggling and he's a loser. You go be stand up to them bums out there. Let's see if they're gonna take care of you. Get out my face. You're nothing to me. I would have told him, why didn't you do what you had to do to make sure that you were free? Because, truth be told, let's always get this out here, especially with the black guys who go to jail, the drug dealers. They're so stupid, they never have the money properly funneled and put away to where their families are taken care of. All of them literally come home to nothing. See, this is how smart you thought they were, but really how stupid they were. It's not all about making money. You have to maintain that certain lifestyle. Especially when you're spending it the way a bunch of ignorant street dudes spend money. They have no value for it. So how you alleging you made all these millions, but now you have nothing to show for it? And I'm not saying that, okay, you got to come out and say now, of course the police will be looking for it. But you wasn't even smart enough to be like, yo, I'm gonna open some shell business, some shell companies overseas. I'm gonna have my family go over there and run them. I'm gonna have these businesses in this person name, that person name. I'm gonna get stocks and bonds and all kind of stuff in my kids' name, stuff that can't be touched. But you were so smart. You know, many of you so-called street dudes, and the thing is, well, I can tell you didn't have real wealth because you speak stupidly. Oh, well, you know, I had 5 or 6 cars and man, wasn't nothing to wear this outfit, I had this chain. You know, that ain't no wealth. Did you buy an island? Would you hopping on yachts going to Saint-Tropez? Would you hopping on yachts going to France? The most you ignorant dudes did, if you lived in New York, you went to Virginia or Florida. California, they probably went to Vegas. Their minds were already in jail because they never traveled far from their confines. So these are the people that you really want to listen to? Now, this is what I would question to the youth. Listen to what I'm telling you about who cares and who doesn't care. When you go to prison, it ain't that dude. He ain't answering that phone every time you call. He ain't writing you back letters. He probably can't even read or write. It's going to be your mother, probably your baby mother, you know what I'm saying? Sister, brother, whoever. Those going to be the ones that hold you down. So why would you want to stay on the street? I mean, go to prison for these dudes. They ain't going to do nothing for you when you got a chance of being free. And then you tell them when you see him in there, yo, bro, there's no honor amongst thieves. I had to get you before you got me. Well, I wasn't. Well, that's on you. That's your stupidity. I wanted to go home. They made me an offer I couldn't refuse, so I'm headed to the house. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's stop glorifying this stuff, man. And especially I'm talking to young black people and Latinos and poor white trash who live in these urban communities. Stop letting these ignorant people dictate to you life rules, because they don't look. They don't have any morals anyway. When you're in the streets, there is no morality. That's why it's stealing, it's killing, it's rape, it's drugs, it's murder, it's thieves, it's lying. There's no morals in the streets. Anybody who's out there deep enough, they don't have a soul. So what are you concerned with loyalty for? You do what you have to do. You make sure you come home. If you got to tell on dudes, you tell on dudes. You make sure you come home to your family. That's all that matters. If you got to do your whole time in protective custody, do it. You know you got a date, and it'll be a lot shorter than theirs. Come on, man. If I was Big Meech, I'd have went to the people before everybody. I'm telling on everybody. Yo, cut my sentence. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would have did. All them people you black mafia family, all them dudes you love, they ain't looking out for him. Oh yeah, yo, Big Meech, yo, free Big Meech, free the homie Big. What the hell is that? They ain't getting him out of jail no faster. And he still ain't coming home until he's like 60-something years old. So his better years are behind him, way behind him. So, all right, this is article from the New York Post by Emily Saul, came out in 2019. And it says, why notorious mobster Sammy the Bull says he flipped. Salvatore Sammy the Bull Gravano describes in a new interview how mob boss John Gotti told him he needed to be the mob's sacrificial lamb just to save himself. He said, Sammy, quote, the wiretap tapes are horrible. They make you sound like a monster. What are we going to do? So I'm controlling all the lawyers. You're going to take the weight. The lawyers are going to bring it out in court that you're a monster. You killed all these people, took over the unions, took over businesses, which I never did. The notorious New York City underboss turned canary claimed in a YouTube interview last week. His first videotape chat more than 20 years. Gravano, who in his deal with the feds eventually admitted to killing 19 people, turned on the Gambino crime family boss in 1992, helped to put away Gotti for life. Gotti, a.k.a. the Dapper Don, for his manicured appearance, and the Teflon Don, because before that, federal charges never stuck to him, died behind bars of cancer in 2002. During the trial, you hear John complaining on the tapes. Poor John Gotti. He lost control of this monster, Sammy the Bull. It's him, not John. So I will go free, and you'll do the time. He said, referring to Gotti's approach. I said, are you sure that's what you want me to do? Gravano claims. In other words, I'm worried about the feds trying to put me away. I've been pinched all my life. I've never faced my friend, my co-defendant trying to put me away. Is that what you really want me to do? The streets need me, the boss. He said, Gotti told him, you're the sacrificial lamb. I said, okay, sure, that's the way it is. And I got in touch with the FBI, I flipped, and I was gone. Gravano received a slap on the wrist in exchange for testifying against Gotti, then ended up in prison for nearly 19 years on drug raps before being released in 2017. And Sammy the Bull is still alive at 80-some years old, and he's a free man. And what they left out from this this piece right here, and you can see there's numerous documentaries on Sammy the Bull and Gotti, but what also happened was they played tapes in court, and Sammy the Bull heard John Gotti, really talking down on him and disparaging him, and that pissed him off. Like, damn, I thought we were basically like, I'm number two, I'm your number two. Like, I thought you had more respect for me than that. And he found out he didn't. So that was another reason why, like, he flipped on him. And again, I think he made the best choice for him and his family. I salute him for that. John Gotti was a piece of trash too. So, they like to highlight how many people Sammy the Bull killed. The better question is, how many people were Sammy the Bull asked to kill? Because he didn't strike me as a person that was it was strictly business for him. So how many of those hits were ordered by Gotti? Or before him, Paul Castellano? Or Neil Della Croce? How many? He wasn't just out there like these idiots do in the hoods where they just spraying and they can't hit their target. So they kill some innocent kid or something like that. He was performing a duty. So I don't get it, man. When you have these so-called street people who have no honor anyway. They don't even know what honor is. And then I hate when a lot of them try to compare it to war or this and that. First of all, don't do that. When a person signs up in the United States military and they get in conflict, Black troops, just look at the pictures. Nicky Barnes, Tekashi 6ix9ine, Henry Hill, Sammy the Bull. I'm talking about how people like to consider them snitches, and I don't see them as snitches. I see them as people who looked out for their best interests. And I totally agree with their approach because the streets have no loyalty. You see the title. What is a snitch? The dishonor amongst thieves. There's no honor with thieves. There's no honor in the streets. There's no morals in the streets. There's no souls in the streets. So people need to stop making like the streets is this place where there's a bunch of stand-up people. No, there's not. There's a bunch of liars, thieves, rapists, killers. That's what's in the hood. That's what's in the streets, rather. And that's what's still in the streets. So why do they always act like there's some moral code with them? And if you do this, then you ain't loyal. Loyal to what? This dude Tekashi brought these clowns out the hood. He had them making money and everything. They tried to kidnap him first. They sleeping with his baby mama. I mean, how dirty is that? So when he was faced with that time, he's like, what? Nah, these dudes ain't, nah, they going down. I'm good. I'm going home. And he made the right decision. And now them clowns is in prison for the better part of their life. And he's living his best life. So who lost? Who lost? Oh, the street, you have everybody in these so-called entertainers, the so-called street dudes. They're not street dudes, they're entertainers. And then when they play like street dudes, they get locked up like Young Thug in them. Yo, what's good?
Yo, what up, bro?
Chilling.
Hey, I just subbed to you, I think, last week. But I like the conversation, though. But if I may add anything, I agree with you on that, man. I mean, that loyalty, that no snitching, that's some black man's way of getting what they want, for lack of better words. It's like, I'm going to do all this dirt out here in the streets, and you better not tell on me type shit.
Right.
So I totally agree with you on that. And with the 6ix9ine situation, I mean, come on, man. You fucked my bitch. You tried to kill me. You tried to rob me. And you think I'm going to keep it loyal? Fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying. But you got these so-called street dudes calling him a snitch. How was that a snitch?
Not at all, bro. Not at all.
You never was loyal to me in the beginning. I brought you out the hood. I brought you all over the country. I'm buying you food. You fresh to death. I'm doing all of this, and behind my back, you doing me all kind of dirty. Nah, man.
Nah. I'm with you on that, bro. I mean, at first, you know what I mean? It was kind of tainted because I didn't know the whole story. You know what I mean? Because I do know there's two types of people. You have your good people, and then you have your people that play in the streets. Now, when you playing in the streets, you really need to keep it to yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you get caught or whatever, because you out there playing and you know the game that you're playing. Right. But if you're not playing in the streets, you're a citizen, man. And you need to go tell if somebody do you wrong. That's just how I live about it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you. But you know what I'm saying? I just also agree that I just believe that in the streets, we talking about people that do anything to get what they want. So how is their honor out there? How is their honor amongst thieves in the street? I mean, I've seen it happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dudes go to prison. When you go to prison, you're basically dead. You're buried alive. Yeah. Dudes in the street ain't writing no letters. They're not putting no money on your books. They're not coming to see you up north. It's not happening.
But let me tell you the cold part about that, right? The cold part about that, right? So let's say, for instance, me and you and two more guys riding in the whip. Me and you in the front seat, two guys in the back seat. We all friends. There's only one person with a tool in this motherfucker, and he got 2 strikes. Now, whose seat you think he gonna slide this motherfucker up under? Because he definitely not gonna keep it.
True.
He gonna slide it up under one of our seats, and we gonna catch that charge.
True.
You see what I'm saying? And there is no honor. There is no honor amongst that at all, bro.
Absolutely. But this is what I'm saying. So when I hear these so-called entertainers or these so-called street dudes, again, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, I don't know if you caught it, but they always
I didn't.
Okay, well, they always say the drug game. Okay, well, the objection of any game is the win. How the fuck did you win if you went to prison? Nigga, you lost. You a loser.
Here's the thing. That is so true, man. I mean, I know so many cats who sold drugs. They sold a lot of drugs, but every one of them went to prison or is dead, bro. Like, that's the only end game to selling drugs, bro. You're either gonna go to prison or you're gonna die. That's it. You won't win. All that money that you've accumulated, you'll be lucky to have a third of it by the time you get out of prison.
And most have nothing.
Nothing. They have nothing, bro. They got to start all back over, get a job, and become a normal citizen. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. How you gonna talk to the kids about, yo, you need to do this? Okay, I'm gonna give you another analogy. That's like whose opinion would you take more on basketball? Michael Jordan or Montel Jordan? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You said Michael Jordan or who? Say that again.
I said, whose opinion would you take more on basketball? Michael Jordan or Montel Jordan?
You already know. It's definitely MJ. The real MJ.
Yeah, now Montel Jordan said he played basketball in high school, but you didn't get to that level. You wasn't a winner. So I'm pretty sure there's people in this country and in this world who have sold drugs and got away with it.
For sure.
At a big scale, and they never got caught. It's been people that robbed. Okay, so you playing a game that you ain't good at anyway. If you keep going to jail, you ain't good at the game anyway. You need to leave it alone.
That's real. I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? But back to the topic. All these dudes in this picture, like Nicky Barnes, he told them dudes before he went to prison, just don't mess with my girl, keep the money going. They did all of that. So he snitched on them. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't blame him either.
Exactly. How am I a rat? I told you, hands off my old lady. I don't care how many years you think I got. And keep the money coming. You didn't do any of that. Come on.
Right. But he's supposed to keep it G and go down there and go to prison for 10, 15 years, knowing that, you know, he's going to prison for a group. He ain't going by himself. He going for everybody behind him. That, you know, and fuck that shit. Oh, no.
And this is where we have to start telling more of our youth. Yo, don't listen to these so-called gangsters out here. They're not gangsters.
No.
They're nobody to respect or look up to. Because if you really live in a civilized society, nobody acknowledges these people. Nobody. Not in civilized society. Nobody cares about the dude that just came home after doing 30 years. Unless they're trying to exploit them to do a movie or something. Other than that, nobody cares about them.
No. When they fall off bad. You know, their own family don't even send them bread after a certain point. But you know, it's that image though, man. It's that thing where, you know, everybody want to be somebody until it's time to stand up in that energy.
Right.
And then motherfuckers tuck their tail, man. Like, there's so many cats, and it's crazy. There's so many cats who do the crime that go to prison and still snitch. So, I mean, the fuck.
Because, bro, that's just what the streets is. And as soon as they stop trying to paint it as this just beautiful place to where everybody keep it 100, that's the furthest. How are people keeping 100 where everybody is lying, stealing, and cheating from each other? That's what goes on in the streets. Now, I was never a street dude, but I was in the streets. I seen this every day.
Right. Everybody trying to get over on each other.
Exactly.
Everybody trying to hustle each other.
Exactly.
But they tell you to keep it real, keep it 100, keep it a buck.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's a setup, man. It's a setup move, man. It's actually, again, it's for the criminals to keep criminalizing. Like, you see grandma in the window, she watching everything. You know, I'm from the South, man, where, you know, communities used to look out for each other. You know what I mean? Grandma used to look out for all the kids on the block.
No doubt.
But now grandma's scared to come outside because the thugs out there with the pistols telling nobody to snitch. Now, the whole community watched who shot who, but nobody's going to snitch because they too scared of the retaliation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's just another way of criminals being able to heist their community, you know, hold their community hostage and still be able to steal from them and take all their stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I broke in your car. You better not call the police on me. You're a snitch. Like, what? Come on, man.
So how is that keeping it real? How does the hood love you when you're robbing and stealing and you're making prisoners of people in their neighborhood?
Exactly.
How?
It's not. Actually, man, that's the opposite. That's keeping it fake than a motherfucker. See, that's the problem, man. Man, we so caught up in, and I was telling somebody today at my shop, man, we so caught up in the fads and the TV and the celebrity to where we've lost sense of self-consciousness, man. It's like we on autopilot doing this dumb shit, trying to be something that we're not. You know what I'm saying? And that's our number one problem. And that's how our youth get caught up in all the bull crap they get caught up in, because they're watching, they're looking, they're trying to emulate somebody. They're trying to pick a celebrity to be alike. You know what I'm saying? I'm not understanding that these celebrities, half of them haven't done none of the stuff they're talking about. Because if they did, they'll be in prison.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's crazy, bro. It's crazy.
And not just that, you know, we got all these podcasts, quote unquote. They're not podcasts, but these shows on YouTube where everybody has a platform now. So people are fascinated, bro, to hear these jail stories and, you know what I'm saying, all of this. And I remember one time I talked to my boy, man, he did like 10 years in prison. And he was like, yo, let me tell you something. Everybody who be talking that gangster shit in prison, he's like, nah, that's not the case, bro. A lot of them, once they come back from that visiting room, they somebody's girlfriend. So that's all the act. Everybody's not a wolf in there. And I believe that. You know, so that's what I'm saying. My whole point is you can avoid all of that. If you get cased up, you need to give the authorities the information they need. Period. So you can come home to your family. Because nobody else care about your family but you.
You're the only one. That's it.
No, so just like you said, the whole thing with the gun. Oh, I'm telling the cops, yo, that's his gun. Yo, he got 2 strikes, bro. I ain't got no record. Why would I have a gun? That's his gun, bro. Straight up.
Right.
Around me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But see, and that's another thing we don't tell our kids, bro. Don't hang with people like that. Because if they don't care about their life, you know they don't care about yours.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact right there, bro.
Word.
We letting our kids just learn from the streets, man. Like, I live out here in Atlanta. And it was just a kid just got murdered, man. He was 12 years old, downtown Atlanta.
What county?
I'm out in Fayette.
Okay, yeah, man. Yo, I just moved from down there, man. I was down there almost 20 years, man. I was in Henry, man.
Oh, you was in Henry County?
Stockbridge, man. Yeah, I just moved up.
Oh, cool. I'm familiar with Stockbridge. I'm over there all the time, man.
Yeah. My mom's out there in Coweta, man, so I already know. Yeah, man. Go ahead, though.
But yeah, the kid just got murdered, man, like probably 3 or 4 days ago downtown Atlanta, man. Now, mind you, think about what I said. The kid was 12 years old, bro, out at 2 in the morning with some friends. So him and his buddy got murdered all over some gang shit. Mom went to the police, was like, hey, I can't handle this kid. He's too wild. I need y'all to do something with him. And they ignored him. And lo and behold, the kid got murdered.
Damn. Where that shit happened at?
That was downtown Atlanta. It was like in the heart of Atlanta.
Okay.
I think it was on MLK.
Yeah, man. Yo, Atlanta has gotten very bad, man.
It has.
It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous, man, the crime, man. But again, it's like we said, you got these youth, they looking up to these niggas like the Baby and Young Thug, all these dudes that want to perpetrate. Yo, Young Thug is going away for a long time.
He is.
He's going away for a long time.
Hey, but hold on, keep talking, bro. I'm gonna try to share this video, share you out. Keep talking. I might click off, but just look for me.
No doubt. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, man. Yo, it's always good to have a good conversation and build, man. And you know, like I said, I'm not trying to get anybody to see things my way. I'm just trying to get y'all to understand something. There is no honor, you know what I'm saying? The dishonor amongst these, because there is no honor. Don't listen to these dudes, these so-called OGs that you see on YouTube, these former criminals. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. Malcolm X said, you know what I'm saying, he once was a criminal. You know what I'm saying? He once was a criminal. So you can't use that against him because he's not. But however, Malcolm X never talked about all his street exploits. So there was only one time in Malcolm's life where you heard him explain his whole life in full. That was his autobiography. That was it. To Alex Haley. That's when he talked about his street life. Malcolm didn't go in these interviews and talk about that. He didn't have to. Y'all dudes are doing it for monetary value. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. To look at you as a cautionary tale. Again, I'm a little bit older than these cats. I'm 40-some years old. I look at these dudes as stupid. You stupid. You play the game and you lost. Any game that I play, I want to win. I don't want to lose.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? Doing 20-some years in a cage like a dog, you lost.
That's not it right there, bro. I mean, we're at an age now where I ain't gonna even say now, but I'm gonna say it just for general purposes, but we're at an age now, bro. We give 5 to 10 to 20 away, bro. We done, bro. We done out here. We lose business, we lose houses, we lose cars, we lose money, we lose everything. But even from being a child, though, you lose out big time because your voting rights get taken from you. Kids don't be thinking about that. Your gun rights get taken from you. I mean, it's just a lose-lose trying to be cool, man, and that's not cool at all. That's a fool, actually.
Exactly. You know, but hey, you know, they care about what the next person think. Because again, most of them will tell you, I came home and I could hold my head up high. Where did you come home to? Because if you've been gone 20 years, I can almost guarantee you that same neighborhood that you left, it ain't like it was. It's just the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? The same people ain't living there. They're not living there anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So what are you going back to? Oh, you're coming home to nothing. Now you got to stay with your baby mama. You know what I'm saying? You got to get your driver's license again. You got to try to find a job. You ain't never take care of your kids so they don't mess with you. I mean, who wants to go through all of that? For the streets?
For the streets, right. It's sad, man. It's sad, man. It's sad, but it's that's the culture that we live in, though, bro. We live in that culture. There's no snitch, no tell culture. And we are the only ones that's losing. So that's the thing, though. We always talk about the white man this and the white man that. Yeah, they had their hands and they played foul. They played the game dirty. But we doing each other even dirtier than the white man. You know what I'm saying?
Way dirtier. Way dirtier. Way dirtier. You know what I'm saying? Hell, shit, let's go back to Atlanta. City I just left 7 months ago. You know what I'm saying? Damn near, even in the suburbs now, it's predominantly black. But you got more crime increasing. Why? Why? You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't live nowhere decent. So you know what the white folks said? You know what? F it. We're going to move to the mountains.
And that's what they're doing, bro. They moving further south, bro. They moving to the woods, man. They moving to the sticks. They moving 2 places. They're gentrifying downtown Atlanta big time. So a lot of them are moving to these high-rise condos to where they're closer to their jobs. But most of the southern country white people, they're moving further south, man. They're moving to Lovejoy. They're moving to Blacksville. They're moving Macon. You know what I mean? They're getting up out of this area right here because, like you said, after that gentrification started, they started giving black people vouchers to move outside of the city. And a lot of them came to the suburbs. And they are wreaking havoc in the suburbs, bro. I'm talking about wreaking havoc, bro. You hear a murder or 2 every other day out here. It never used to be like that, man.
Who you telling, bro? Who you telling? I touched down in Atlanta. My mother had been there since 2000. I touched down in November 2003. Like I said, I just left. So a year short of 20 years down there. My kids live down there. They were born there. You know what I'm saying? I know, bro. Henry County was nothing like it was, man. You know what I'm saying? Clayton County wasn't even that bad. But they messed up with the Olympics, bro, when they tore those projects down. They had to eat somewhere. So they flooded DeKalb County and they flooded Clayton. Now they eat everywhere else. And also, bro, you have people now who are coming here and they might have decent jobs. That don't mean they have class.
Right.
You know? So they bringing their badass kids from the other states, and this was a lot of crime, man. You know? Yeah,
that's what's going on. I agree. And then when that whole Katrina thing happened and all those New Orleans people moved down, man, they came down and wreaked havoc on the city, bro. Robbing, stealing, shooting, murder. It was an Atlanta versus New Orleans thing for a minute, man.
And see, that's a whole other episode right there. But at the end of the day, I always blame the parents. I always got to blame the parents, man.
Definitely. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, to me, it starts with the man, in particular the black man. You know what I'm saying? Too many of us are not raising our children. We're doing everything else but that. And this is what I'm saying with these so-called G's and these old, they don't discuss none of that. You don't hear them discuss the relationships they have with their kids because they can't have any. You weren't there.
But they'll rather be OGs to kids that's not theirs instead of being OGs to their own fucking kids, bro.
Right. You know what I'm
saying? That's backwards. It's backwards, bro.
Right. And you know, sadly, many of them couldn't even save their own children, and they got, you know, they became victims of the streets.
Right. I totally agree. I mean, but I see it's crazy, man, because I see I own a barbershop. So I see the good kids, man, growing up, good kids. I see them trying so hard to be the thugs, man. It's so sad, man, because it's like they're going the opposite. I mean, kids with good futures, man, coming from, $700,000 homes, gated communities, but they sagging the pants and gold teeth in their mouth, man, and tattoos in their face. And I'm like, dude, y'all don't understand. There are people in the hood trying to get out and be what you are already, what you are now, but you're going backwards trying to be like them. And to me, that's media, social media, TV, radio. That's brainwashing these kids to think that the thug way is the way, and that's not it.
Right. MC, what's up? Thank you for supporting the show. And yo, MC, say what up, Black Truth.
Yo, what up, MC? What it do?
Yo, you're absolutely right. You absolutely right. But yo, we have to start. Charleston White, and I disagree with a lot of what he says. But when he says F them gangs and all of that, I'm so with that. I'm so with that, man.
Who are you talking about, Kanye?
No, Charleston White. When he was saying,
see, I was about to bring him up too. Yeah, you're right. I'm with Charleston on that for sure, man. The brother be making a lot of sense. A lot of people don't like the messenger, man. They critique the messenger, but the message is the message, man. That dude be making a lot of sense, man.
Yeah. And when he says that, I got to be like, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Because that is what's up. Stop putting these dudes on some type of pedestal. Who are they? They the ones that destroy the community.
Exactly. Like when he talked about Boosie and how Boosie got all his murders, the typical young man will look at Boosie and be like, oh man, he's a superstar. Oh, he got money, he got cars. I mean, but allegedly, he did what he did. And it's crazy because people will overlook that because of his celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Boosie a killer. Oh, he a real G. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, but what about little Timmy who go and shoot the school up? Oh, he's a murderer. Oh, his parents failed him. You kind of see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's crazy. Instead of going to the source, man, we going to all around the source. We need to find the source of what's causing these kids and these young adults to have these chaotic episodes, man.
Bro, look what they surrounded with. Like you was just speaking about Boosie. Boosie's an ignorant country nigga. That's all Boosie is.
He is.
He's an ignorant country. I mean, no disrespect. He's an ignorant country.
No. He is rich. He's an ignorant, rich country nigga who's made it in that particular game. The music game, the rap game. I mean, that's a whole separate entity right there in itself, man. So all those cats feel privileged. They feel entitled. So yeah, that is what it is when it comes to that. You know what I mean?
But I think we make the mistake of putting rappers, people like rappers, entertainers, basketball players. We put them because they can generate money. We put them in like there's some genius status to that. They're being exploited. They're
They
being
are.
paid for a service. They might be getting paid way more than you and I get paid for a service, but they're getting paid for a service nevertheless. That doesn't make them hustlers and all of this. I hate when I hear that from them. Oh, yo, I'll be hustling. Nigga, you're getting paid for a service. Entertainment is the biggest service in this country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hell, if anybody should be getting paid money, it should be teachers,
right,
officers, nurses, doctors, shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not a damn entertainer, but that's what this country enjoys, so that's what they pay for. But yeah, these people ain't no geniuses. They ain't nothing smart about them. And they're the ones that get the platform. And that pisses me off, man. That pisses me off.
I totally agree, because I don't know if you remember, this was years back. They did a interview with Young Thug, and I forgot what president was trying to become president at the time. And they asked him something simple, man, about politics. And he was like, man, I don't even know what that means. He was like, I'm a young, rich, successful nigga. I don't care about none of that. And it's like, wow.
Facts.
Like, really? Wow.
Hey, at least he kept it 100. You had Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders sitting down with this whore Cardi B. What are you talking to a whore about?
And how does she represent the black community in any way, shape, form, or fashion? I don't know, bro.
Because she's black and she's famous. Exactly.
And she's famous, right? Just like Ice Cube, you know, and I feel Ice Cube wanted to do something powerful, but still though, I mean, we're our black scholars who can go in there and talk the talk and get something done. We're our black, you know, men of medicine, you know, men of these other categories that are prominent. That means something. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're being shuffled to the back. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Morehouse up here, man.
No doubt.
They will show 100 murders versus 100 black men getting their degree from Morehouse to become doctors, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that shows me, and that should show everybody, that they're not trying to glorify us black men. They're not trying to put us on a pedestal. They're not trying to show the greatness of us. Only thing they want to do is show when we kill somebody, when we murder somebody, when we steal from somebody. That's it.
That's right. That's right. But we allow it because we don't respect those things in our community. We're not telling our kids to become doctors. And so this small percentage of brothers and sisters that accomplish that feat, it's not even getting televised. There's nothing to talk about. We don't care about that.
Right.
Hell, we want our kids be a basketball player, be a YouTube star. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Never mind trying, you know what I'm saying, like LeBron James. You didn't already made it to the pinnacle of the sports world. Why your sons got to play sports? They can't do something else? They can't run one of your businesses? You can't send them to Harvard or something like that? He still has a nigga mentality. You know
right.
Why you still want to entertain a white man? Have your kids do something else.
Right. I agree. I agree with. I never thought about it like that, but you're right. That makes sense.
Yeah, he made
because I mean he only did it to get out of his situation. He's out of that situation now. He balling.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. Yo.
But you know what? I play in sports, bro. So let me tell you how they trick you though, bro. They trick you for the love, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because once, you know, as black men, or me personally, once I got into sports, bro, I started to love it. So I found myself doing shit for free when it came to sports because I loved it so much. So that's how they trick these men, bro. They make them fall in love with it and then dangle that little money over their head. You know what I'm saying? Or threaten to take that money away to make them do what they want them to do. You know what I mean?
I agree, but if I'm a superstar athlete, I'm telling my kids this, yo, you're not following down my path. Find something else to do. I'm already an entertainer. I didn't go to college. You go to college. Make something of your life. I got businesses I need you to run. I got an empire I'm trying to build. Why would I pay other people when I can have you do it?
That's a fact.
Man. You know what I'm saying? But we don't
value it.
It's not valued. This is what white people do. I don't care how wealthy they are. I bet you their kids got a bachelor's degree. They're going to at least get a 4-year degree. At least.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Then you're going to come run this business. Now, the trashy ones like the Kardashians, they're whores anyway. So she wasn't interested. Had their father, Robert Kardashian, lived, I guarantee you they would have went to college. But you know,
I believe that.
Yeah, the mother's a whore. So, yeah, I mean, he's the one that had the wealth. She had nothing. You know?
Right.
Yeah, I think he comes from what, Hungary or Yugoslavia, one of them countries Robert Kardashian comes from. And he came to this country and made a life as a lawyer. And he met her. She had nothing, bro. She didn't have nothing. She's not an educated woman.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
But you see the lane that she's in. She's in the hip hop entertainment world. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know how that's entertaining what they do, but you know, they found a niche. You know, they found what, you know, their spot. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying? They found it and they stuck with it. So that's just weird, man. We live in an age where you can make a sex tape and become famous, man. I mean, that says it all right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, right, yo, what Forrest Gump say, bro? Stupid is as stupid does.
Stupid does, right.
You know what I'm saying? So people are attracted to watching stuff like, yo, I'm gonna be on my kids, bro. I've never seen that show. I've never sat down and watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians ever in my life. I never even thought about it. You know
bro, you're not missing nothing, bro. It's a bunch of nothing, bro. I've seen it maybe once or twice, and it's just a fabricated life. They're creating beefs for the show for ratings. Bro, they don't even talk about nothing. Nothing educational, nothing. I mean, but the thing is, your daughter don't need to be watching that. My daughter don't need to be watching that because it's just showing tramp behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's showing hooker behavior. And just like Love and Hip Hop, just like all that bullshit, bro. Real Housewives of Atlanta, you know what I mean? It's just showing hooker behavior, man. And it's sad. Let's go to Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right. So some of the most raunchiest shit comes on that show. But now go to Real Housewives of Potomac or Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Man, those white women collectively don't put themselves, they don't lower their class to be on a show. Right. You kind of see what I'm saying? They may argue a little bit and fuss, but they don't just dumb themselves all the way down just to get money on the show. Whereas when I see these Real Housewives of Atlanta women, I've seen them dumb themselves all the way down, man, just to be on the show and get money. It's weird.
Because, again, we'll get back to the whole ghetto and the street mentality I was talking about with snitching and in the streets. There's no morals. There's no morality, bro. So when there's no moralities, you don't care about showing your body parts. You don't care about anybody seeing your behind. You don't care about nobody seeing your... You don't know, because you think there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? With other societies, that's frowned upon. That's the whole why in Islam they make the woman, well, they don't make her, but you know what I'm saying, she wears the hijab. It's because they believe that, you know what I'm saying, that body is for them, the husband. It ain't for the world.
Right. It's pure. That's the purest thing that a woman has is her body and her beauty and her looks.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Man has lustful eyes. He's just gonna look. It's just a fact. He's gonna look. So if you got your breast hanging out, your ass, he's gonna look. And they know that.
They already know it, bro. That's pure point blank. And it's so crazy. I love my black women though, and they so beautiful. But yeah, you go out, bro, they half naked. You know what I'm saying? I mean, titties showing, you know, ass showing, coochie showing, and it's like you try to go approach them, and it's like, why are you approaching me? And it's like, baby, look at you. Baby, you are giving come get me vibes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what do you expect? You half naked. Every man out here is gonna try to say something to you. And it's very distasteful, man. Again, it looks good, but it's very distasteful, man. I mean, looking at it from another race,
it is.
You know, I'm quite sure they're looking like, what in the hell is going on? Why is this girl butt ass naked out here?
They're calling them whores and all kind of stuff. Because if you do that in their country, you're gonna get stoned to death. You ain't walking around like that.
Exactly.
But again, yo, this goes back to morals, and this is what happens in the streets. This is why, what they call them now, sex workers. You know, when we was growing, they were prostitutes, whores.
They were prostitutes, right?
Yeah, they walked around half naked because they wanted to get the man's eye so they can get money.
To get that bread, exactly.
And it ain't too much of a difference now. You know?
No, it's really not, bro. I mean, even when it comes to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, bro, it's all the same, bro. It's women on there half naked. Again, a lot of them look good as hell, but it's just the premise of it. It's like y'all on here because y'all want somebody to hit your Cash App. You want them to subscribe. You want them to follow you. You want something from these people who's viewing these pages. And so you'll do anything. You'll do almost anything to get these people to subscribe to you. And that is, to me, yeah, that's horse behavior, bro.
And yo, there's no such thing as an Instagram model. They are whores. There's no such thing as an Instagram model. Those are Instagram whores.
I totally agree. I agree with that. 1,000.
And they're all selling sex on there. They're all selling sex.
They are. They're pushing P. They definitely selling sex, bro.
Word. That's a fact.
They might not be selling their body per se to a man to lay down with, but they're selling their body through images and captions. They're definitely selling their body, man, for sure.
Man, a lot of them are soliciting that. That's why a lot of these rappers, come on, look at Drake's baby mama. Where he found her at.
Well, true. You're right.
Deshaun Watson, he got caught up. College football. Well, he went to my college team, Clemson, but he played with the Browns now. Yeah, he got caught up.
Deshaun. And what about that dude, whatever dude, Brittany Renner, just got him and just did him dirty, got a baby.
Yeah, PJ Washington from the
PJ Washington.
Yep.
Yeah. Just did him dirty real quick. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I feel you, bro.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And see, that's another problem. You know what I'm saying? Dudes falling victim to the lust. You know what I'm saying? They're falling victim to the lust and they're getting caught up, man. You know what I'm saying? They're getting caught up. And see, again, this is all a game that they're losing. You're playing games that you're not winning. You know what I'm saying? But I just really want to reiterate this, man. Yo, kids or whoever, you get caught in a bind, there's nothing wrong with giving the prosecution, the officers information for you to go home. Worry about your life, not the next man's.
Definitely. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
Word. You know what I'm saying? All this loyalty to the streets bullshit, that's bullshit. There ain't no loyalty out there. You know, if that was the case, you know what I'm saying, Mitch wouldn't have killed Rico, or Rico wouldn't have killed Mitch. Paid in full. You know what I'm saying?
Real shit. But but if you look at it, man, there is no loyalty. There's no loyalty at all. There's no loyalty in business. There's no loyalty in relationships. Man, there's no loyalty. Really, at this point, there's no loyalty nowhere, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to protect you at all costs, man.
I agree.
You got to protect you.
I totally agree.
That's why they got patent laws. If you come up with an idea, you better patent it or they're going to steal it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So yeah, it's no loyalty out there, man.
No, there's not. And that's why I want these dusty old niggas who are, you know what I'm saying, to stop selling this to the youth. Like, you some stand-up dude because you didn't tell. Okay, well that's you. You didn't mind being around a bunch of men for that next 30 years of your life. That's on you.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, furthermore, we don't even know if you had to tell or not. You might not have even been put in that situation. But don't put the pressure on them, you know what I'm saying, especially first time going to jail. Now you talking about them doing 10 or 20 years. Nah, man, I don't believe in that. Give the authorities the information they need to close the case and send them dudes to prison. And you go home.
Definitely. And again, like I said earlier, like, I'm a firm believer, man. Now, if you do play in the streets, then you already know it's some dirt out there. You're going to get a little dirty if you're playing out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. But if you're not playing in the streets, you're an upstanding person, and you find yourself in a predicament where this is solely not you, you don't have no reason to be loyal to nobody but self. Fuck anybody else. Self is more important than anybody in that type of situation. You know?
If you really think about it, bro, and really think about this, how many of these dudes or these females, when they jump off the porch and get out there, have really been out in the streets that long to even learn the rules and how everything goes? They haven't even been out there long enough. And then they don't even know how it goes. Most of them don't even know the people they rolling with. They haven't built that homie relationship like we're gonna ride or die. They haven't even established that. And then they get cased up. Now you in a room, I'm in a room, and you start thinking, man, I don't really know this dude. Like, man, hey, I gotta tell you something. So, you know,
but I always said the fool is the one who don't tell first, though, to be honest with you. Because like in that same situation, shit, the one person who 9 times out of 10 that's not gonna tell is the one who done this shit. You know what I mean? And they putting it on the person who, you know, who hadn't done shit, and they trying to make them not tell. But now if the shoe was on the other foot, that person will be like, hell yeah, he did that shit. I didn't do that shit. Let me get the hell up out of here. I got shit to do. You know what I mean? It's the green motherfuckers who's taking those charges like that, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Prison is full of informants and corroborators. They on skid bids, but it's full of people who then told, who tell. You know, like I said at the beginning of my show, there is no such thing as a super cop. They get their information from informants and snitches all day long.
All day long, bro.
If that wasn't the case, the first 48 would have been off the air. You know what I'm saying? It would have been.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
Yeah,
they get him in that room. They offer him a Coca-Cola and some Zaxby's or some McDonald's and a cigarette. Nigga, it's over. Nigga, he finna tell on everybody. Nigga. For real, he finna tell on everybody.
Yo, this bomb.
Telling old shit and everything, but I see what you're saying though. I definitely see what you're saying. But you know, if you were to present this, let's say for instance, we was in front of 15 young Thundercats in the streets right now, and we have this conference with them, they'll look at us like we old, crazy, and we disloyal to the streets. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They'll be ready to do something to us because we telling them some real shit. You know what I mean?
And I would only ask one request from them. I would find the OG who been home for about 3 years, and I'd be like, yo, look at this dusty nigga. What does he have? He has nothing. He was gone for 30 years. Do you want to be like that? Do you want to come home and all the women you had, they gone and this and that, and your kids don't, and your mama died while you was locked up and all this stuff happened? If you want that to happen to you, fine. Go ahead. Keep doing it.
Right.
You know? Right.
And that's totally true. And that's what I was about to say. A lot of them don't have remorse until they get in there and they realize that all them football numbers they got to do.
Right.
And then they like, damn, okay, all right, I got to do it. And then they really don't get to understand it until they get out. And then the one that they took that L for, living their best life, stop calling, don't give a damn about them, ain't sending them no commissary. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when they get all mad inside and be wanting to do something to somebody. You know what I mean? Because they realize that they gave their whole life away for a fake game, a fake turf war, some fake beef. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Some bullshit.
And see, exactly. And see, this is what I want to happen. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of these older dudes that's coming out and talking. We don't want to hear you now, man. I don't care what you got to say. You're a nobody. Right. You have nothing to show for your life. Don't say you got to tell nobody nothing, man. Oh, don't make the same mistake, man. Get out of here with that, man. Get out of here with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear your story. I don't care nothing about you. Bottom line, because this is what the kids is listening. They're not taking a part where he's saying don't commit the crime. They're thinking, oh man, he was in shootouts. Oh, he was an H-rate gangster. Oh, he was a rolling 60s Crip. Oh, Nipsey Hussle was a rolling 60s Crip. So I'm gonna be a rolling 60s Crip. This is what they're saying.
Right.
So these people have to be destroyed, and we have to take their credibility.
I totally agree.
Yeah, we have to, man.
No, I totally agree with that. Yeah. Because they do right now, they have that credibility in the streets. They do. They damn sure do. They have it. Yeah. And the kids are looking up to that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah. They ain't looking up to it. Oh, Nipsey was a Crip. You know what I'm saying? Never mind, Nipsey was trying to change his life. He had really started getting knowledge of self. He was more in getting in the community and building. And I think had he lived, he would have been on a higher level, and it would have been nothing about cripping. I honestly think he would have dropped his flag. He would have left all of that shit alone because he would have finally evolved into a man, but he didn't get that opportunity.
He didn't get the opportunity. I agree. Like Snoop Dogg, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Snoop Dogg, a 50-year-old old stringly nigga, Crip walking in the Super Bowl. No class, man.
Right. But still not even living on the principle of what these gangs were presented as. These gangs were presented as like security systems for the community to stop all the bullshit that the gangs are doing right now. You know what I mean? It's like they were formed to stop the shit that they're actually doing right now, terrorizing the fucking community.
I agree, but until they denounce it at the higher level, then they're going to still be vindicated. If Snoop Dogg says, yo, look, I don't want nothing to do with the Crips organization. I don't want nothing to do with them until they stop killing each other. Period. I'll never wear blue again until they stop killing each other. And you have the other rappers do it and the other so-called celebrities. They'll stop. But they've turned this gangbanging into a fad. And they did that back in the day. You know?
They did. They did.
And I was surprised when I heard they had Bloods and all that in Atlanta. I was like, what?
Man, it's so crazy, bro. A lot of these cats aren't really gang members, bro. They think they are. This is the thing, bro. Back when I grew up, when some of my people was gang members and gang leaders, they had literature, man. They actually studied from a book or several books, you know, about the gang, about life, about the purpose of the gang. Right now, you get jumped in and then you got to go murk somebody. You know what I mean? So they have no literature on what they even in. So to me, they're not even in a gang, bro. These people are living a fake fantasy world that they just got beat up and now they're killing people because they have no literature. They don't have a basis of what this whole thing was started from. You know what I'm saying?
True. But they don't want to know. They don't care. So that's the thing. They don't care. And that's why history is always going to repeat itself if you don't even know your history. So they don't know it. And it's a few channels, like my dude Kev Mack videos. I always shout him out. He speaks of gang history. He doesn't try to glorify anything. He has gang history. But then you have the others who just want to glorify that life that they spent in that organization, so to speak. And it's just lame, man. You know what I'm saying? It's lame. You know what I'm saying? But shit. Yo, bro, man, hit me up on Instagram, bro. Same name, man. And yo, we could build further, man, and come back on the show, bro.
All right, no doubt, man. I got a channel as well, man. So, and when we get off, you go sub up to my channel and see this is my type of conversation, bro. I love doing shows like this all the time, man. So when I heard you talking, I was like, yeah, I could build with bro.
Yo, bro, I got you, man. Thank you for coming through, man. I'm definitely gonna subscribe, man. I'm gonna come through.
All right, bet. I'm gonna leave my email under this video for you.
Okay, bet.
Or one of your older videos.
Okay, cool.
All right, bet, bro. Thanks for letting me come through, man.
No doubt, man. Anytime, brother.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. All right, y'all. Yo, good episode, man. Yo, talking the real here, man. That's what we do at Right the Truth, man. What is the snitch? Dishonor amongst thieves. Yo, go back and listen to this again. Share it, like it, subscribe. This is the kind of content that I like to talk about and produce, man. And I'm going to continue to do this. And if you don't like it, oh well. But this is my content. This is what I like to talk about. Yo, donate to the movement. You see it at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, share. What's today? Tuesday. I'll be back in a few days. Look for me Friday. Just look for me Friday. I should be back Friday. Same time, probably 7:30. And I'll probably go off on Friday because you know it's the weekend. So I might go in. So we'll see how that episode goes. But I'd like to thank everybody for listening, come out and supporting the show and continue to support the movement and the show. And yes, I will talk to you people later. I want everybody to have a good evening.